Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Bucky. I'm back again with another video, man. Today, as y'all can see, man, we are reacting to the disturbing world of Facebook criminals. This was posted a month ago. I'm just going to get straight to it.
To live streaming borderline torture, to even luring victims with a Facebook marketplace listing and robbing them on the spot. Today, we talk about the dangerous world of Facebook criminals. Hey guys, how are you doing? My name is Tuv, and I've seen some of you comment that like, why don't you talk to us anymore? Why do you just get straight into the video? First of all, I thought you guys were no murder of Robert.
Bro, he had the freaking whole world shook, bro.
A man named Steve Steffens committed what is now termed as a performance crime by killing
all because his girl left him, bro.
Well-polished doorknob head ass. Your shit look like the tip of a New York hot dog, bald head ass, boy. And your eyebrows arched, though. You arched your eyebrows with a random toenail. Matter of fact, your ass look like Charles Barkley, evil twin, Spangoolie Barkley. You the type of nigga to pop a Mucin X pill and act like you rolling off the E.
This dude went on a whole killing spree because his girl left him. Like, that jump was wild, bro.
The video of
he killed an elderly man for no reason, bro.
Killing the 74-year-old who was just collecting aluminum cans on the road. This was in the Glenville area of Cleveland, specifically East 93rd Street. Is that the perpetrator commits an act of violence as a way to
I can't, bro. This nigga's so ugly, bro.
To please an audience and get their attention.
This dude's so ugly,
the
bro.
reason Steffens' case started quickly. They launched a countrywide manhunt for 37-year-old Steffens, but while in pursuit, involved very quickly. They launched a countrywide manhunt for 37-year-old.
Bro, hell the fuck no, bro. I'm sorry, bro. God forgive me, but damn, bro, this nigga, bro. This dude like a defrosted caveman, bro.
In pursuit, and before they
he look like he snuck on Earth. He look AI generated, bro. This does not like a real human being, bro. How the freak is your eyes up here? Nose long as shit, mouth long as shit. Like, nigga, how?
Indiana and Michigan to particularly be on the lookout. Two parts of the
crime.
This
dude, eyebrows like this.
First,
look mad as hell.
The crime was up for at least 2 hours on Facebook until it eventually got flagged and taken down. Second, the victim, Robert Godwin, was picked at random. In an interview with News 5 right after the incident, a neighbor said, "Until he's caught, we're not safe. We don't know where he's at." Steffens was a careers advisor and counselor helping young people find employment. It's noted that he also worked as a case manager at a children's mental health facility. Before the incident, he had posted
this dude worked at a children's mental health facility.
And that he was at loggerheads.
You would not think somebody that works at a children's mental health facility is doing stuff like this. All over a girl. I went through heartbreak. You feel me? I will never get to this point. You literally killed people.
Noting that he had lost everything through his gambling problem and that he was at loggerheads with his girlfriend of 3 years. He had also been evicted from his apartment. Just after these videos detailing his troubles, he shot another video where he stops driving and gets out of the car while notifying the audience that, quote, "I found me someone I'm about to kill." Obviously, the video is horrendous, but it's so weird to imagine.
That jump was insane, bro.
Also, their phone in the other. It's like, just like, I don't even know, I can't say clout chasey, but it's, imagine like this, but with a gun on the other hand, and that was the video. That's the video. It's like a first person. I mean, that's what it is. It's not like it's a first person video. After the murder, it took the police 2 days to catch up with him after workers at a fast
that jump was freaking nuts,
area,
bro.
100 miles away from Glenville, recognized them and alerted the police. Steffens had ordered a 20-piece McNugget and large fries, but the workers delayed his fries so they could call the police. As he tried to escape, the police performed a pit maneuver, which sent him spinning out of control. However, before he
that dude said he killed like 13 people on live, bro. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? This dude does not need to be roaming the streets no more, bro.
Pulled out a
hell no, they need to get him.
4 years later, after the incident, Mr. Godwin's daughter wrote a book, From Grief to Grace, just as a way to remember her father and deal with the loss.
That's sad, man.
The story of Elaine's murder is
okay. I did not know these other ones. This was the only one I knew. Cause, bro, literally this one went viral, bro. This was like what, 2017? Literally everybody knew about that junk, bro. Everyone. That shit was wild, bro.
The story of Elaine's murder is one.
Niggas was scared to go to sleep. All of that, bro. I was scared to go to sleep.
On a fateful night in November.
Freaking
misogyny, love,
walk to school. All of that, bro.
The story of Elaine's murder is one of deeply seated misogyny, love, xenophobia, and sheer stupidity. On a fateful night.
That was back when the Killer Clowns was out too.
Greek student Eleni Topoulides duty, went out on a date never to return and only to be found dead a day later. Her death caused uproar in Greece and beyond, as it turned out to be a brutal murder involving a high-level family in Greece. A week before her death, Eleni was messaged on Facebook by 19-year-old Alexander, who said he had developed
19? What the
Alexander,
fuck? He's not 19.
High-level
He
family
like,
in Greece.
bro, he gotta be like 28
Eleni was messaged on
with
Facebook by 19-year-old
4 kids.
Alexander, who said he seemed like a nice guy, and this was also reflected in the way that he would compliment Eleni. They friended each other on Facebook and chatted back and forth about random things, including Eleni's love for travel and her visiting the Rhodes Island in Greece, until eventually setting a date. They had never had contact with each other before their Facebook encounter, and to Eleni, this might have seemed just like a normal Facebook date. As agreed, on November 27th of 2018, Alexander came to pick up Eleni from her apartment for the date set out for 10 p.m. They planned to eat out at a local kebab shop. However, as she got into the truck Alexander had come with, Eleni realized there was another person in the truck that apparently was joining them in on the date. This third person was Manolis Kakouras, a 20-year-old Greek citizen. Manolis and Alexander were friends, and after a chit-chat, they all set out for the date. Now, a key piece of background information that sets this story in perspective is that Manolis was the son of a local tycoon. He was from a family that owned a lot of restaurants and shops in Greece that held considerable power due to their wealth. As you will later realize, this had a great effect on the trial of the case. During the date, Manolis suggested they all go to a family-owned fancy summer house in Lindos, Rhodes Island. They all set out for the house, but beforehand, Eleni messaged her friend to call and basically fake an excuse, like, yo, call me, get me out of the situation, dude. And that call was to be in an hour. So yeah, you could tell she was aware of the weird nature of the situation. At the house, they ate, hung out on the rooftop, and had their drinks. Everything was okay up to this point, and then it went sideways quickly. While on the roof, Alexander and Manolis requested to have sex with Eleni. Based on their testimonies in court, Eleni politely refused, and this is when the physical struggle began. They accosted her with one of them.
Bro, don't tell me they did, bro. Hell nah, bro. Come on, man.
Overpowered her, took her
That's
to
not right,
testimonies
bro.
in court. Eleni politely refused, and this is when the physical struggle began. They accosted her with one of them threatening her with a knife, while the other grabbed her violently.
With a knife?
Eventually, they overpowered.
Bro, what be wrong with y'all folks, bro? Shit is fucked up, bro. If somebody says no, that means no, bro. Bro, people be weird out here,
Took her
bro.
to a room in the house and assaulted her physically, and she lost consciousness at some point, and then with one of them threatening her with a knife, while the other grabbed her violently. Eventually, they overpowered her, took her to a room in the house, and assaulted her physically, and she lost consciousness at some point and then regained it after a while. Although beaten and bruised, she tried to fight back and told them that she would report this to the police. It was at this point that they decided to kill her. First, they tried strangling her, but they didn't succeed in that, so they ended up battering her face with an iron box. And even after that, she still didn't die, so they threw her off a cliff into a river.
Oh, they beat her with an iron?
Drove out into a remote area, and that's when they threw her off the cliff. Surprisingly, the medical report shows that she didn't die from the fall. Rather, she drowned slowly in the shallow waters of the shore, since she had been paralyzed by the fall and couldn't swim away from the water. Both men, after throwing her down a cliff, returned to the house, took her clothes, and threw them over a cliff near the house in hope that her clothes and body would be swept by the waters. Unfortunately for them, but fortunately for every sane human being, the tides were against them, as the clothes mostly blew back to the cliffside and were later recovered by the police as evidence. Her body was discovered the following morning by 2 fishermen. Her face
What
was
be
so
wrong
bad
with
that
folks,
it was
bruh?
impossible to recognize her, and it took a rose tattoo on her ankle to identify her. Both men were arrested. However, during the trial period, Alexander got the harsher portrayal, with the Manolis family attempting to influence outcomes in favor of their son. Manolis was painted in the media as an unwilling accomplice, while Alexander received all the blame, especially because he was Albanian. The case actually exposed the inherent xenophobia in Greece, where even courts look less favorably at non-Greece residents. The Manolis family even allegedly hired a doctor to prescribe their son antidepressants to make him seem more weak and unstable. And on top of that, even tried petitioning the court to have an all-male jury. This particular jury request negatively portrayed Greece to the world, with activists pointing at this embedded misogyny. Eventually, on May 20th of 2022, both Manolis Kakouras and Alexander Luka were handed life imprisonment for murder, 15 years for torture in Chicago. Since Facebook added its live feature a couple years ago, there have been a range of bizarre live streams.
Damn, boxhead ass. You look like the Black Steve from Minecraft, bro.
That is at the top of the list is the live broadcast of a man being tortured by 2 young men and 2 young women. This incident happened back in 2017.
They look
broadcast
beat, like, bro, they look beat as hell, bro.
the man being tortured
Hell
by 2
nah,
young
bro.
men and 2 young women. This incident happened back in 2017 in Crystal Lake when an 18-year-old was kidnapped, tied, and placed in a room where he was tortured. The actual charges, as reported by CNN, included a hate crime, aggravated kidnapping, unlawful restraint, and battery with a deadly weapon. The 4 perpetrators were identified as Tess Faye Cooper, age 18, Brittany Covington, age 18, Jordan Hill, age 18, and Tanisha Covington, age 24. The 2 women, Brittany and Tanisha, are
So they
sisters.
all the same age except for her. How the frick is a 24-year-old around hella 18-year-olds? And how the like why? Well, why was they even doing this, bro? Be wrong with folks, man.
24. The 2 women, Brittany and
I already know
Tanisha,
people
are sisters.
probably
The
be
victim
like,
and 18-year-old
oh, nah, they're 18. They don't really know. They fucking know, man. Nobody, not a single damn soul was thinking like that at 18, bro.
18-year-old man with a mental disability was reported missing earlier in the week, and as reported by the Chicago Tribune, it's confirmed that the 4 perpetrators were behind his
Frick is a
disappearance.
24-year-old doing around 18-year-olds.
The 2 women,
you supposed to be
Brittany and Tanisha, are sisters.
on the
victim,
road
an
of starting a
18-year-old man
family.
with a mental
The
disability,
fuck?
was reported missing earlier in the week, and as reported by the Chicago Tribune, it's confirmed that the 4 perpetrators were behind his disappearance. The parents said they dropped him off at a McDonald's in Schaumburg and never heard from him again until the appearance of the video online. It turns out that after he was dropped off, he was picked up by Jordan Hill in a stolen van, and they drove around for several days before ending up in Covington's apartments. Since the teens knew each other from school, this didn't seem odd until they got into a play fight that escalated into a torture crime. A neighbor heard the torture commotion and called 911. What made the crime even more disturbing is that they decided to share the whole thing on Facebook. The Facebook video was discovered after the teen had already been found. In the video, one of the young women quipped, "Y'all not even commenting on my shit," in reference to her audience not commenting on the live. Police believe that the young man was tied for about 4 to 5 hours. Also in the Facebook video, which lasted for about 30 minutes, he's seen cowering at the corner of the room with a terrified, wide-eyed look. The video shows one of them cutting the victim's scalp with a knife, which I'm obviously not going to show,
What the
while one other
fuck?
attacker randomly yells obscenities about Donald Trump and white people. The specific phrases were F Donald Trump and F white people. Police said the victim was, quote, very discombobulated, end quote, when they found him on the street. The attackers were all African American, while the victim appears to be white. The police did, however, refuse to officially divulge the race of the victim. Rather, they said the motive for the attack was because the victim had special needs, rather than because of their race. Pretty odd considering they were saying frick white people while beating on him. CNN did, however, report...
Yeah, that was definitely a hate crime. I'm not even gonna, bro. The racism gotta stop, bro. Even though it's not never gonna stop. Everybody gonna keep hating each other because of, I mean, not everybody, but some people just will never change and will never like that specific group of people because of their skin color, bro. It's just that simple. You feel me? That's fucked up, though, bro. At the end of the day, it's fucked up, bro. Simple.
The court was considering hate crime charges against the victims. On December 8th of 2017, Brittany Covington pleaded guilty to the charges of committing a hate crime, intimidation, and aggravated battery. Additional charges, such as kidnapping, were dropped as part of her plea deal. Covington was sentenced to 4 years of probation and 200 hours of community service. On April 19, 2018, Tanisha Covington pleaded guilty to the charges of committing a hate crime, intimidation, and aggravated battery and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. On July 5th of 2018, Jordan Hill pleaded guilty to the charges of aggravated kidnapping and committing a hate crime and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. On July 12th of 2018, Tess Faye Cooper pleaded guilty to a hate crime and aggravated kidnapping and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The cold-blooded murders of Janelle Potter's friend. In this case of a Facebook feud that turned into a heinous crime, we explore how a young woman, Janelle Potter, ended up being at the center of one of the most gruesome murders instigated by social media. What exactly happened? Well, on January 31st, 2012, a couple, Billie Jean Hayworth and Billy Payne, were found dead by single gunshots to their faces.
Billie Jean. Billy Jean. Got coolest name.
2012, instigated by social media.
Billie Jean.
What exactly happened? Well, on January 31st, 2012, a couple, Billie Jean Hayworth and Billy Payne, were found dead by single gunshots to their faces. Payne also had his throat slashed. Billy was holding their infant, a 7-month-old boy who survived the whole ordeal.
What the fuck? Like, what be actually wrong with folks, bruh?
Her partner, Jamie Curd, and a mysterious figure, a man named Chris who allegedly worked for the CIA, was involved. The The feud started when Janelle claimed she was being bullied, harassed, and threatened with physical harm by someone posting on her Facebook page. She was convinced that the person behind the anonymous account was Billie Jean, and apparently because she was jealous of her looks. There was a suggested idea that Janelle had fallen in love with Billy Payne, but Payne's sister, Tracy Greenwell, who also happened to be Janelle's first friend in Mound City, Tennessee, said she didn't think such a romantic relationship existed. Actually, at the time of the murders, Janelle was involved with Jamie Curd. The feud was so bad that Janelle's parents were involved. They had been monitoring her Facebook page because they wanted to protect her. Being strict parents and Janelle having had trouble making friends since childhood, this was regular parenting for them. Janelle's mom, Barbara, had even tried to dissuade the anonymous commenters from bullying her daughter by pleading with them in the comment section. All this protection for Janelle was also because she was a type 1 diabetic and therefore sickly and living at home most of the time. She, however, was hiding her romantic relationship with Curd from her parents. The police had gotten involved at some point in the feud when a rock-ridden Billie Jean and Billy Payne was found on the front lawn of Potter's family.
The fuck?
After a while, all these parties unfriended each other on Facebook. A strange bit in the case was that Jamie Curd was texting a guy named Chris, who allegedly worked for the CIA, and told him that it was Curd's job to protect Janelle at all costs. It was later claimed by police that Janelle might have been the one behind the Chris persona because she was lonely and thus Facebook was her place to be, quote, someone she wasn't. Actually, an analysis of IP addresses of emails sent from Chris came from an IP address within Potter's home. After the murders, Janelle's dad was convicted, having confessed to the crime. The dad was named Marvin. The court found Marvin, Barbara, and Janelle guilty of first-degree murder and gave them life imprisonment. Marvin was convicted first in 2012, and Janelle and her mom got convicted in 2015. Another bizarre part is that detectives believe Janelle had used her Chris identity to goad her parents into committing the crime. Her dad, however, refuses this account of events.
Bro, I'm really about to get you.
They appealed their trials, with Marvin claiming that Jamie Curd was involved and specifically was the one that killed Billy Payne. Janelle and the mom plead innocence, citing the fact that they did not influence Marvin's decision to kill. I know that one was pretty complicated, but I hope showing the images on the screen helped you guys understand a little bit. But with that being said, let's head on to the next one. Using Facebook ads to lure and carjack people. In 2022, a pair of teenagers in New York confessed to the FBI that they were responsible for Facebook ads to lure and
that's
carjack
crazy.
people. In 2022, a pair of teenagers in New York confessed to the FBI that they were responsible for a series of robberies, carjackings, and kidnappings in the Bronx and Yonkers area of New York. Their confessions caught detectives by surprise due to the cheesy trickery that was used to lure the victims. Instead of the old scam where perpetrators would pose as car buyers and steal from genuine sellers who show up to offer test drives, Deontay Fernandez, age 19, and Mark Francis, age 18, flipped the script. They posed on Facebook Marketplace as a car seller under the name Tag'em and would rob people who came to buy the car. The New York Post reports that the duo used a red 2019 Hyundai Ioniq to lure two particular targets. In the first instance, they met an unnamed victim on Highland Avenue in Yonkers on the evening of the 26th of September in 2022. The victim drove with a companion to the meeting place in a Honda and met the two teens in the company of a third accomplice. After the five got back from the test drive, one of the pretend sellers pulled a gun and forced the two victims back into the Hyundai car. Meanwhile, the accomplice took the victims' keys, cell phones, and wallets. The victims were later dumped at a busy intersection on Yonkers Avenue. In the second case, just a day later, Fernandez and Francis repeated the scam using the same red Hyundai car. They set the meeting place with a buyer at Sycamore Avenue. The duo still stole the wallets, phones, and car keys. They took off with one of the victims in the victim's 2021 Toyota RAV4 and left the Hyundai and one of the victims behind at Riverdale. The hostage was taken around New York City, with 2 stops being made to withdraw a total of $6,000 from different banks. Meanwhile, the victim that was left behind at Riverdale alerted the police, and once Fernandez and Francis went back to the Bronx, where they had stashed the stolen Honda, the police were waiting for them. The two are facing life imprisonment if convicted. Selling counterfeit goods on Facebook Live. Now this one isn't gruesome, but it's just
in like situations like that, you have to keep a gun, bro. Like, you have to, bro. Like, when you selling stuff, bro, you gotta keep, or at least keep some type of people around you, bro. Because if shit go left, bro, it's over, bro. And it's just you by yourself. Them dudes can do anything, bro. They might pull a gun out on you. Then you gotta give up all your stuff. If you don't give up all your stuff, shoot, they can potentially end your life, bro. It's a cold world out here, bro. That's how you gotta get your own stuff, bro. I remember I got scammed out of a PS5 2 years ago. You know, and it wasn't worth it, to be honest, bro. Because I actually own a PS5 now. And shit sucks. Terrible, bro. I don't
To put this into perspective, you have to understand that Portugal has very strict laws against counterfeiting. Being part of the European Union, the laws are enforced as a way to protect the health of consumers and reduce financial losses by tax authorities and the companies making original products. The couple from Mirandela, Portugal, is seen in footage being caught red-handed selling illegal goods from their home.
That's wild.
números que tenho. É? Pronto. Então podem pedir, depois vês aí os números, né?
So you gotta stay strapped, bro.
The woman in the video is seen showing off a pair of fake Adidas trainers, and in the background, one can see a collection of bags and other retail products. The video also shows the couple being arrested dramatically, with the police entering with a loud bang at the door, and shortly after,
crazy.
a man is seen lying on the floor, being handcuffed.
Fake shoes, though? Y'all robbed her of fake items?
Crime, end quote. Alright guys, that was it for this video. If you enjoyed it,
that's crazy, bro. I'm not even cap, bro. Every video, bro, about 2, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Peace.